the Kaizo Mario, if you're not familiar, that this is the type of Mario game that we're going to watch is not made by Nintendo. It's not officially licensed. That it is a product. Kaizo Mario is sort of like comes out of this sort of scene of ROM hacking and hacking sort of Mario games to create bespoke levels. And Kaizo Mario is specifically known for being sort of essentially just the most brutally difficult games or sort of levels. So the ability and the skill level that you have to be at to play these games is phenomenal. And I think when you watch people play them well, you kind of forget that a little bit. So what you're about to watch, if it looks easy or you think you could do it, then like go home by all means and have a go, and we'll see how far you get.
No, what are we expecting to see today? We'll first talk about the runners for you guys. For representing the team One Line Men, we got Barbarous King up there. We got Grand Pooh Bear. Yeah, I'm about to say, Issa, Barbarous, yeah, I'll re-say his name. Get the hype up. We got Dode out there. And we got Noble Tofu. Again, all for the One Line Men.
Yeah, and for Lunar Magicians, we got Pangea Panga.
Pangea Panga, let's give it up.
Yep. The one and only Glitch Cat 7.
Glitch Cat.
Laser Belch.
Laser Belch, give it up.
And all the way from Australia, Just Cook.
Just Cook, y'all. With that, we're going to count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! All right, so here we got our world map. Again, this is a blind race. None of them have seen any of these levels before. And as you can see, shout outs to the community creating all these this awesome sprite work. They're going to know who to swap it off to. If you're ever wondering who's up, it's whoever's portfolio is up in the top left corner.
Shout outs to the Kaizo men who put that all together. That's amazing. It swaps out the player sprite and the tile up in the corner.
Yeah. So again, first of 7 levels right here. Looks like both teams swapping off, getting an initial feel. When you go into a blind race, what's kind of the first thing you're looking for?
Basically, you're just like, you want to get some progress and you want to show your teammates what's up. Communication. Communication is key. If you die on an obstacle, make sure your teammates know, don't do that. Don't do what I just did, you know?
Before this panel, we were talking about the setup and kind of design of this video versus, I suppose, a typical esports stream, particularly around the role of commentary and hype.
Because, of course, when we're talking about performance and we're talking about games, that sport is obviously a very specific analogy to make here, that there is sort of an idea that you can play games very well, and there are ways that you could sort of compete and do well at that. But I didn't want to pick, the reason why I didn't choose sort of a more traditional sort of esports video or tournament is that, for me, a lot of the games that sort of skew towards that, like, say, like League of Legends or Dota, if you don't know how to play those games, actually the videos are a little bit incomprehensible for you to sort of pick up and follow what's going on. Whereas this race is incredibly legible. I'm assuming that there's perhaps sort of a couple of people in the room who haven't played perhaps that specific Mario, but you understand what's going on and like just the repetition of watching the levels again and again. But as you say, it's also all of the sort of construct that goes around that experience. That what is really great about Games Done Quick is just how sort of supportive and understanding the commentators are, and like especially, I don't know their names, but the hype men in that video as well, just such a good job of geeing up the audience, but also does a really good job of not doing a big info dump at the beginning about, look, you're watching something that's actually quite hard to unpack, but they do sort of drip feed that information to the audience about like, okay, this is a blind race, these players have not seen this level before, so they're playing it for the first time, and these levels were created by people in the community, and these sprites are sort of things that have been adapted by the community. And so you just have this really nice sort of commentary that sort of is really welcoming as well for people who don't know sort of what's happening. And yeah, I love the fact at the beginning that when you're watching it, if like myself, the first time I watch it, I don't know the names and they're just shouting things out like Dode and Grand Pooh Bear, and you're like, if you just made these words up, but you're just pulling them out of a hat. But it's just nice that it's like, do you know what? I don't need to know, because the way you're talking about it just gives me enough context. And I think it's really important to think about sort of that construct and the skill and value it takes to sort of be commentators and to present in that way.